Folks, at one rental at a time, it should be known that we obviously bring a lot of experts to the channel, but you may not appreciate just the amount of rock stars that we have. We have the team from Convoy Home Loans. They are the fifth largest non-QM lender in the country by volume and the sixth loan volume overall. So these guys are not just little players. They are the real deal. We have Jonathan here, and we may get Dustin in a minute. Jonathan, congratulations, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I think the best part about that is for all the watchers and people that reach out to us is, Dustin and I, we actively originate. We don't just run the company. So
right.
You get it. You get the full, picture.
Yeah. Really, I like is we had an agreement way back in the day was if somebody came from one rental at a time, or ORAT, as we say here, they would work with either you or Dustin. So you've held to that promise, even as you guys are just killing it. So I appreciate it. And I know the audience does.
No problem. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, let's get it started. One of the reasons you guys are the number 5 in non-QM and 6 overall, which is amazing, is frankly, you guys are never satisfied. The number of weeks that we get together that you are rolling out a new product is unheard of in the industry. And I know you have a couple that you'd like to talk about here. So lay it on us. What do you got?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first one that I wanted to kind of talk about is right now, I mean, we've talked every single week in the past about credit tightening and the tightening of leverage, where now people that used to be able to get, less down or more leverage on cash couldn't get it. And, that's been a real issue that we've been running into. However, we just found a new fund, a new lender that would allow us to actually do for once, finally, and this was back in 2020, we used to be able to do this a lot, but now we can, is 85% cash out, which if everyone remembers back in up until 2021, FHA was 85% cash out on their primary residence. And this is for a primary residence as well. But this is basically, I want to say that extra 5% for some people makes a big difference on their primary if they want to. Sure. I personally 85% makes me a little nervous on loan to value just because it's kind of high. But because there's so much built-in equity right now, I mean, if your home is not I want to say I wouldn't go 85 of $10 million property, but 85% of maybe a $200,000 property doesn't sound too bad, especially with the monthly payments not being that affected. So this new product allows people on their primary residences, which means that, it would only be in the 14, 15 states that we're licensed in, not across the country, like our normal investment loans. But this allows them to go to 85% cash out and allows them to maximize the liquidity that they have in their property that's trapped if they can't have access to it elsewhere. And, usually right now, I think the max on conventional is 80%, same thing with FHA. So, for people that need that extra 5% bump, because there's a lot of debt right now, I think, on the market. I think credit card debt is at an all-time high right now. Yeah, that's obviously a huge issue. And even though some people are against, hey, use mortgage debt to pay off your credit card debt, some people just aren't going to be able to get out of the debt without having that extra mortgage debt payoff. So this allows people to really tap into that and really cash in on the extra 5% that may help them kind of make a refi cash out worth it for them without having to go the HELOC route in the HELOC or kind of second route that's in the 10, 11, 12% range, right? So these are more in the 7 to 8.5, 9% range. So it's more like,
and again, these are going to be a fixed product, right?
30-year fixed, correct? Yeah, which is also the other thing too, that and no prepay, right? So you can always refi out of it later, especially if the market gets a little better.
There you go. I like that new prepay. That was a nice little twist. You also had a second product for 5 units and above. What's going on there?
Yeah. So 5 units up to I believe 28. There is the same fund that's doing the 85%. We are getting actually better leverage now, so we can do 25% down on those things on 5+, which is right now very, very hard to do. Overall, right? It's only up to 2 million, and we could probably get an exception up to 2.5, but it's 5+ right now. Again, every week we've talked about the tightening. We've talked about not getting enough leverage, 30, 40, 50% down, 25% down is kind of unheard of. That's a new product that we have rolled out. And that can go across, I think, maybe 45 states. So reach out to us and find out if your state applies. But we can do that. And the rates are not bad. They're in the mid high 7, maybe low 8. It's not bad at all. The only caveat with this product, just up front, is it's obviously it's a 30-year fixed product, but there's a 5-year prepay. So it's a mandatory 5-year prepay that the lender, I think, is doing regardless to mitigate risk, right?
Sure.
Because if they make the prepay too short, then obviously people are going to refi out of it, and that's going to make their pool of loans that they sell off kind of useless. So you know, it's a 5-year prepay, but you know, step down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or, you know, 6 months of interest. There's different ways that we can structure the prepay on this one. So it still allows for people, like, for example, if they're buying it with 25% down and they know, let's say it's undervalued because they're buying it because they're writing a great deal, right? And they're buying it at below market, and all of a sudden 3 years later they want to cash out. You know, we can kind of calculate to see which prepay penalty type would be the best way for us to strategize and write the note, so that later on, when you go to refi and try to tap into that equity, you're going to be able to do that without taking that big of a hit, right? So, but still, 25% down, 30-year fixed in the 7s to the low 8s is kind of, in this market right now, that's the same as, it's almost the same as like 2 to 4s, right? So it's not that different. Yeah.
Now, is this only for purchase, or could this be for a refi as well?
This is for a refi too. Yeah. But I don't know about people that would want to refi into this product if they have a low, like, adjustable still, right? If they have like 3 years, 4 years left on their adjustable, I don't know if they'd really want to do it. But if any listeners are 1 year or like right in the adjustable period, and, you know, we're talking, obviously we could talk about this later, but rates are going to go up. And this is a perfect opportunity to really lock in that extra rate, you know, and that extra fixed period.
Yeah, again, you got to understand, you said something in this outline that I think most people might have missed, so I'll say it again, is this is a 30-year fixed rate product. Most people doing 5s to 28 units are stuck in commercial land, which means they're going to be betting or perhaps hoping that rates are lower in 5 to 7 years. You know, if you get into high 7s, low 8s now, maybe it doesn't feel great, but you also don't have 30-year risk. And, you know, there's options in the future. So 30-year money for commercial is not very common. So this is probably sexier than you think it is.
And here's the thing too, is obviously on commercial, everyone's kind of used to underwriting it with, you know, vacancy reserves and all the other CapEx, you know, all of that being included into their debt coverage ratio. In this product, actually, the good thing about it is very simple. It's like a 2 to 4 or 1 to 4 DSCR loan. So it's just rents divided by the actual monthly payment. And that's what you're getting. Yeah. Super simple.
So I think there's a lot of things you do, a lot of offers. Where should people go if they want to see if you can help them and look at deal reviews and see what might be best for them?
Yeah. Go to convoyhomeloans.com and please let us know you came from more at.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.